From the deepest reaches of the cosmos to the smallest atom, the universe is a place of unfathomable scale and power. In this vast, silent theater, humanity's story is but a fleeting whisper. We look up at the stars and wonder, how did we get here? But perhaps the more pressing question is, how have we managed to survive for so long? Our existence has been a tightrope walk over a chasm of annihilation, a story of near misses and narrow escapes that would make your heart stop. We are the children of luck, the descendants of survivors, living on a knife's edge between being and nothingness. Let's travel back to a time not so long ago, a time of paranoia and brinkmanship, the Cold War. On January 25, 1995, the world came terrifyingly close to nuclear midnight. Russian early warning radar detected a rocket launch off the coast of Norway. It appeared to be a single ballistic missile arcing high into the atmosphere, its trajectory aimed directly at Moscow. To the Russian military, this looked like the beginning of a decapitation strike, an attempt to wipe out their command and control in a single blow. The nuclear briefcase was opened and presented to President Boris Yeltsin. For the first and only time in history, the Russian nuclear command system was live and ready for a launch authorization. For several agonizing minutes, Yeltsin and his top advisors debated whether to launch a full-scale retaliatory strike against the United States. The fate of hundreds of millions of people hung in the balance. As the clock ticked down, Russian satellites determined the missile was heading out to sea, not toward Russia. It was a scientific rocket, launched to study the aurora borealis, a launch the Russians had been notified about, but the information had been lost in the bureaucracy. A global catastrophe was averted not by brilliant strategy, but by a last-minute clarification. But this wasn't the only time we stared into the nuclear abyss. Let's rewind a little further, to the night of September 26, 1983. At a secret bunker outside Moscow, Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov was the duty officer at the Soviet Union's Early Warning Command Center. Suddenly, the alarms blared. The system reported a single missile launch from the United States, then another, and another, until 5 missiles were reported to be heading toward the Soviet Union. Petrov's orders were clear: report any incoming attack to his superiors, who would almost certainly initiate a retaliatory launch. The system, which he was trained to trust, was telling him that nuclear war had begun. But something felt wrong. A full-scale American first strike should involve hundreds, even thousands of missiles, not just 5. It was a gut feeling, a human intuition against the cold, hard data of a machine. Petrov made a decision that would change the course of history. He reported it as a false alarm, a system malfunction. He was gambling the fate of the world on his hunch. He was right. The system had mistaken the sun's reflection off high-altitude clouds for missile launches. Stanislav Petrov, a man whose name most of us will never know, single-handedly prevented a nuclear holocaust. We were saved by one man's refusal to follow protocol. Our precarious existence isn't just threatened by our own creations. The universe itself has a way of reminding us of our fragility. On Halloween of 2015, a cosmic visitor paid us a surprise visit. An asteroid nicknamed the Great Pumpkin zipped past Earth at a distance just slightly farther than the Moon. It was about 400 meters wide, large enough to wipe out a major city or even a small country. The terrifying part? We only discovered it about 3 weeks before its closest approach. It came out of the darkness, a stark reminder that the cosmos is a shooting gallery and we are the target. If its trajectory had been just a little different, our world would have been irrevocably changed. And this wasn't a unique event. There are thousands of near-Earth objects we haven't even found yet, any one of which could bring about a disaster on a global scale. We're living on borrowed time, blissfully unaware of the cosmic bullets whizzing past our heads. But we don't need to look to the stars to find existential threats. Our own planet has tried to wipe us out many times. Take the Black Death in the 14th century. A single bacterium, carried by fleas on rats, swept across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. It's estimated to have killed between 30 to 60% of Europe's population. Imagine a world where every other person you know dies a horrible, painful death. Cities became ghost towns, societies collapsed, and the world was plunged into a state of chaos and fear. It was a cataclysm that reshaped the course of human history, a grim testament to the power of the unseen world of microbes. Humanity clung on, but it was a close call, a brutal demonstration of how a microscopic organism can bring civilization to its knees. And if we go back even further, our survival becomes even more miraculous. Around 75,000 years ago, our ancestors faced a world plunged into a volcanic winter. The Toba supervolcano in what is now Indonesia erupted with a force thousands of times more powerful than any volcanic eruption in recorded history. It spewed so much ash and sulfur into the atmosphere that it blocked out the sun, causing global temperatures to plummet for years, possibly even a decade. This created a genetic bottleneck. Some scientists believe the entire human population was reduced to just a few thousand individuals, a tiny, scattered tribe on the brink of extinction. Every single one of us alive today is a descendant of that small, tenacious group of survivors who endured the cold, the darkness, and the starvation. We are all the children of Toba's aftermath, the result of a near-miraculous survival against all odds. But even the Toba catastrophe pales in comparison to what life on Earth has faced before. Let's journey back 252 million years to the end of the Permian period. This wasn't just an extinction. It was the Great Dying. It was the closest life on this planet has ever come to being completely extinguished. A series of massive volcanic eruptions in modern-day Siberia went on for hundreds of thousands of years, releasing colossal amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. The oceans became acidic and anoxic, devoid of oxygen. It was a true planetary apocalypse. An estimated 96% of all marine species and 70% of terrestrial vertebrate species were wiped out. Life on Earth was reset. It took millions of years for the planet to recover. Our own distant, shrew-like ancestors were among the few who survived, scurrying in the shadows of a desolate world. Our entire evolutionary lineage, the very existence of mammals and therefore humans, is thanks to that tiny 4% of life that somehow managed to cling on through the greatest disaster this planet has ever known. So here we are, the inheritors of an unbroken chain of survival stretching back millions of years. We survived the cold of the Ice Age, the darkness of Toba, the horrors of the plague, and the madness of our own nuclear standoffs. We've dodged asteroids and outlasted cataclysms. Each day we exist as a victory against staggering odds. Our story is not one of dominance, but of sheer, stubborn, breathtaking resilience. We are a fragile species in a dangerous universe, and yet we endure. It's a humbling thought, isn't it? To realize just how tenuous our existence is, and to appreciate the incredible luck and tenacity that has allowed us to be here, right now, looking up at the stars and wondering. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through our planet's near misses. If you found this story as mind-blowing as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into our amazing universe. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.